The burning desert winds moved across Makkah, and under the shadow of the Kaaba, thousands gathered for Hajj. But this was not the Hajj we know today. This was the age of Jahiliyyah, the age of ignorance. The house built by Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam had become surrounded by darkness. Among the travelers that year was a young man named Harith. After days crossing the desert, he finally entered Makkah with his father. Since childhood, he had dreamed of seeing the Kaaba, but the moment he arrived, something felt terribly wrong. Men danced loudly. Others shouted before stone idols. Harith looked confused. "Father, is this really worship?" His father lowered his eyes, then replied softly, "This is what our people call religion now." Near the hills of Safa and Marwa, two giant idols stood proudly, Asaf and Naila. Pilgrims touched them for blessings. Some kissed them while running between the hills. An old woman cried before the statues, begging them to heal her son. But they were only stones. They could neither hear nor answer. That night, Harith witnessed something horrifying. A poor family approached the Kaaba, but the guards stopped them. "You cannot perform tawaf in your own clothes." The poor man begged for mercy, but the Quraysh leader replied coldly, "Then circle the Kaaba without clothes." Harith froze in shock, and later that night, he watched people hiding themselves in darkness while performing tawaf in shame. Yet the leaders watched proudly. They called this purity, but Harith felt sick inside. Morning arrived. Animals were sacrificed near the Kaaba, but instead of feeding the poor, people smeared blood onto the walls. Meat was thrown across the ground. Flies covered the sacred sanctuary. And the leaders proudly shouted, "This honors Allah." But deep inside, Harith knew something was terribly wrong. That night, tribal leaders gathered beside huge desert fires. Poets praised their tribes. Rich men competed over wealth and status. Nobody remembered Allah. Nobody spoke about truth. The Kaaba had become a stage for arrogance. Then suddenly, an old traveler stepped forward. His voice was calm. "Do you truly believe these idols can help you?" The crowd fell silent. One angry man shouted, "These are the gods of our fathers." The traveler pointed toward the Kaaba. "This house was built for one God. Not stones, not pride, not corruption." And Harith could not stop thinking about those words. Late that night, Harith sat alone under the moonlight. The sounds of shouting echoed across Makkah. He looked toward the Kaaba with tears in his eyes. And for the first time in his life, he whispered, "O Allah, if you are truly one, guide me." Years passed. Makkah continued drowning in darkness. The rich became stronger. The poor suffered more. Idols filled the sanctuary, and truth seemed forgotten. Then one day, everything changed. A man stood near Mount Safa, calling the people of Makkah. His name was Muhammad. Harith pushed through the crowd to listen, and the prophet said, "O people, say there is no God except Allah, and you will succeed." The crowd exploded in anger, but Harith's heart trembled. Because deep inside, he knew this message was true. Years later, Makkah was transformed forever. The idols fell one by one. The Kaaba was purified. The naked tawaf ended forever. And the sound of Tawheed echoed across the valley. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Thousands stood before Allah in white garments, equal, humble, pure. Harith looked toward the Kaaba with tears in his eyes, because finally, truth had returned, and the house built for Allah would never belong to idols again. And maybe the darkness of Jahiliyyah did not disappear completely, because even today, many hearts are distracted from Allah. Many people still chase pride, wealth, and worldly desires. But the message of Islam remains the same: to worship Allah alone, to purify the heart, and to follow the truth before it becomes too late. So the next time you hear the words, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, remember the journey of this sacred house, a journey from darkness to light. If this story touched your heart, then share this reminder with others. And subscribe to Soul Speak Stories for more powerful Islamic stories and reminders. May Allah guide us all. Allah Hafiz.